I think that it is important to be aware that there are not just two genders, of course. So there are transgender people and there are gender neutral people. And but it also is very important to pay um people of different genders equally and to represent them equally. And so I kind of have been going down a pretty small rabbit hole. So, what I'm showing you right now is when I open up YouTube, what it looks like. Here we have on the right hand side, you see that there is a female YouTuber, and then you see a male YouTuber and a male YouTuber and a male YouTuber and a male YouTuber. And it happens that I recently just watched a video called 10 Small Female YouTubers You Should Watch by Hannah Witton. And she kind of the reason I watched that was because I searched for basically that exact thing because when I open up my YouTube, it's all men. Or the majority of what comes up tends to be male. And this is exactly what is coming up on my YouTube right here. But it happens that I just added like 10 female YouTubers and it still is coming up with a little more male people. So I just was sitting there thinking, well, I wonder what the actual representation is on YouTube. So I did a little research and I found that worldwide there are almost 10% more YouTube users who are male. Now that is the users. 51% of YouTube users from the USA are female. So more than half of the users in the United States are female. And more creators in the United States are female. So I found that. And then I found that male YouTubers are paid more, and I list my source there. But then I found this other article that says about the actual creators. Of 1,000 channels produced by one or more individuals, a quarter of them, the channel operators, are female. And it had said of the top, I think 1,000. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Anyway, so here we have the top, sorry, of the top 1,000 YouTube creators, only 24% are female. So you have more female creators and you have only 25% of them who are rising to the top. You see kind of what I'm saying? There's some equality here, and inequality rather. There's quite a lot of inequality, and I'm just trying to figure out how that is coming to be. So I thought I've now skimmed this article I don't know if anybody wants to hear me read it out loud. I think I'm going to read it out loud. All right. Gender representations on YouTube. The exclusion of female diversity. Media and gender are intricately linked in our society. Every day, we see representation of women and men on the screen, read about politicians in the press, watch influencers on YouTube, or go to the cinema where we meet screen heroes. Our images and notions of gender draw on these media narratives and role models. Children and young people are socialized with these views and cultivate their own identity and gender roles accordingly. Ideas of gender are not static, they are produced discursively in the ongoing process. Gender is understood as a social category, and this perspective is interwoven with the observation of people's social behavior and their doing gender. West and Zimmerman, that's a source in case you don't know. From a social constructivist, the focus lies on the production process connected with the construction of gender representation through the media. The question of how masculinity and femininity, concepts of being a man and being a woman, represent on the platforms such as YouTube become relevant. Our research interest lies exactly in this. How gender inclusive is the video platform YouTube? Are male and female representations equally visible, or do we find exclusion mechanisms that hinder this? Literature review. Europe-wide studies show that children and adolescents are online for an average of 2.4 hours a day. 87% of young people report watching videos, for example on YouTube, at least once a week. This applies for Germany as well. Considering the relevance of YouTube has for adolescents, the question arises as to which role models are portrayed through YouTube and how diverse the representation of gender are depicted there. Initial analysis, primarily for English language YouTube platform, see its potential to counteract gender stereotypes, but generally show an unequal visibility of genders on YouTube. These studies find that women are underrepresented, receive more hostile feedback, and present themselves in stereotypical forms. During and Morshani showed in their current 9-country comparative analysis that men dominate the popular YouTube across countries and women are more likely to give it up after hostility. The existing research usually examined the English language, mainly US YouTube. It analyzed gender performance stereotype in selected genres, such as advertising and or gaming, the stigmatization of obesity, the representation of Black women on YouTube, and experience of Black women on YouTube, and the staging of alternative images of masculinity. And Molyneux et al. Noted in their landmark study, Gender-Specific Differences, female YouTubers tend to focus on private matters and interact more frequently with their users. Male YouTubers, on the other hand, share opinions and information and avoid emotions. In addition, female vloggers are more often criticized for their appearance and for the content of their videos. Even though YouTube is an international medium, its use remains limited to language and nation. For example, the most popular YouTube stars among German children and young people are predominantly German speaking influencers or sportsmen and women. In 2019, girls between the age of 6 and 13 often most often named Bibi, Daggy, B, Sharon, David, Lisa and Lena, and Miley. Boys at the same age, Julian Bam, Gro, Dialois, Lee Floyd, and Manuel Neuer. All of these German YouTube and sports stars, all of these are German or YouTube or sports stars. YouTube itself shows its recommendations under the heading Most Popular Videos in German, exclusive German language videos, music videos, and sports events. Therefore, YouTube also needs to be examined in national context as well as cross national context. I'm making sure that it's still recording. All right, hold on. Sorry. Okay. Our study will focus on the national German context to examine whether there are similar gender differences in the German speaking YouTube as have been identified for English speaking YouTube. For German speaking YouTube, few studies are available. I'm just going to call it D and M, examined male and female operators on the top 100 YouTube channels in 9 different countries. The results showed that women make up 25% of the top 100 German YouTube channel operators, a distribution which is similarly uneven in other countries. Usage data shows that German-speaking YouTube appears to have a greater relevance among boys than girls. Boys, 93%, use YouTube more often on a regular basis than girls, 86% of the rank it higher than their favorite apps, other than the traditional media such as television or film, where intensive research has for decades shown a wide gender gap in the visibility of women. And research on German-speaking YouTube is rare. So the hypothesis here is that in reflection of these research outlined above on representation of gender in media, the stereotypical portrayals of men and women in film and television, we assume that these gender role depictions are carried over into online videos on social media platforms. The fact that girls use YouTube somewhat less often, consider themselves less competent in necessary internet skills, and anticipate greater risk related to communicative aspects suggests that female operators might have been held back and that the female perspective might be marginalized in public self-portrayals and portrayals. The following hypothesis will therefore guide our study. Fewer women, so there are 4 parts. H1. Fewer women are channel operators of German's most popular YouTube channels, and they are more limited in their choices of genres. H2, women are less visible than men in popular YouTube videos. H3, women portray themselves more often as connected to stereotypical female topics or are depicted as such in videos. And H4, men stage themselves as professionals. Method and sample. Following these hypotheses, we conduct a 2-step research. The first research step was to analyze to what extent women and men produce popular content. For this, we looked at the ratio of female to male YouTubers among the 1,000 most successful German channels. These YouTubers are called either creators or channel operators by the industry. Both terms are synonymous here. To identify the most popular YouTube channels, we acquired the viewing and ranking data from the market research company Social Blade, which is one of the very few sources for this these data. We measure the popularity of the channel by the number of subscribers to the channel. The success of individual videos was measured by individual views. We coded the 1,000 most successful German YouTube channels, with a standardized quantitative code, content analysis, which is frequently applied to existing studies on gender representations in YouTube. Different to existing research, we looked into large numbers of channels. The quantified analysis was combined with more qualitative but still standardized analysis of visibility of gender and concrete content as presentation forms. For the second step, we used audio-visual character analysis developed by Palmer and Link as a method that is able to code any audio-visual content in order to describe visibility and diversity of the depicted people. Here, the analysis considers the individual video of the unit of analysis. For 20 videos from each of the top 100 YouTube creators, we chose the 10 most recent videos plus the 10 videos with the most views to be analyzed. In total, 2,000 videos were analyzed. From the qualitative analysis, looking at the visibility of gender, we excluded channels operated by institutions such as radio and TV broadcasters, music labels, and other commercial entities. These were not considered since there is no individual person responsible. We also excluded Let's Play videos since these were not shown by the operator but only show the gameplay from video games. Results. Fewer women are operators of Germany's most popular YouTube channels, and they are more limited in their choices of genres. As the analysis show, if the non-individual channel operators included in the statistics, we see that 27% of the top popular channels in Germany are hosted by institutions, 270. And this leaves 172 channels operated by women and 525 channels operated by men, and 25 by mixed gender teams. That's only 3%. Further on, when we consider the top 1,000 channels produced by one or more individuals, of these, 1/4, 24% of channel operators are female. This shows that for every channel in the list produced by a woman, 3 are produced by men. Only 3% of the channels are produced by men and women together, constituting a mixed-gender team. The YouTube genres, according to the YouTube classification, also show significant gender differences. Women can be seen as foremost in tutorial channels, where there were 61 women and 9 men. However, because only 24% of channels in which an individual operator could be identified are contributed by women, all other genre, except for tutorial channels, are produced disproportionately by men. Gaming videos are solid male territory, and almost all Let's Play channels are operated by men. So there were 6 women and 150 men doing that. Here there are 25 men for every 1 woman who operates a gaming channel. This is particularly remarkable as women make up 46% of gamers, and their underrepresentation can generally not be explained by lack of interest. Men operate channels in a wide variety of other genres, such as music, where there were 9 women and 80 men, sports, where there were 4 women and 20 men. The genres of comedy, film, and education show only 1 female operator each, outnumbered from 10 to 1, as much as 20 to 1. Examining the statistics for men and women separately reveals that men do not operate the majority of the top 1,000 channels, but they are also visible in a wide variety of genres. Female YouTubers have primarily limited themselves to entertainment channels, 50% are women, and how-to channels, 35% are women. Male channels are more diverse and include entertainment, 38% are men, games, 29% are men, and music, 15% are men, as well as all other genres. Only the tutorial channels men are rarely seen, 2%. The genre definitions of the YouTube channels used are derived from YouTube itself, and these definitions are not in line with other genre theories and are overly broad. Therefore, the result confirmed the first hypothesis that fewer women are operators of popular YouTube channels, and that women are more limited in their gender diversity. Top 1,000 YouTube creators. And when it says n equals 722, it means that that's how many were in the sample. And so here we have 24% are female, are women. All right. How women are less visible than men in popular YouTube videos. So that was the second hypothesis. From the list of the top 1,000 channels, the top 100 most successful channels produced by individuals were analyzed in more depth. Of these top 100 channels, we analyzed 20 videos each for a total of 2,000 videos for the visibility and appearance of men, women, and non-binary persons. If we counted the main protagonists appearing in these 2,000 videos, we see for every woman, there were not more than 2 were men. So if there were 979 women, that was 29% of the group. There were 2,343 men, that was 69% of the group. Only 2%, 54, of the people appearing in these videos had a non-binary gender, intersexual, transsexual, or other. Interesting. It is a similar imbalance that we can detect in television as well. In other categories, there is more diversity than in television. In total, 44% of the channel operators have recognizable migration background, which is more commonly seen in men, 49%, than in women, 32%. Migration background is an official German definition of people of foreign nationality. People not born in Germany or having parents in the criteria. This confirms the second hypothesis, according to which women are visible in popular web videos less often than men. So here's a third hypothesis. Women portray themselves often in connection with stereotypical female topics or are depicted as such in videos. In the 2000 videos from the top 10 channels, female YouTubers are primarily visible in service-oriented tutorial channels on topics like beauty, food, and households. Female YouTubers are predominantly represented in video blogs, vlogs 17%, battle challenges 16%, sketch parodies 14%, and tutorials 11%. The haul unboxing format, in which presenters unpack acquired products or gifts, is almost exclusively female. Men are visible in a wide variety of formats, such as battle challenges 21%, sketches 17%, and vlogs 14%, including music 9%, opinion position 6%, interviews 2%, music parodies 3%, the question after answer format 2%, and the wide range of content produced by male YouTubers compared to the limited range of female YouTubers becomes even more obvious when we consider the topics of the individual videos. The result shows that men engage with a variety of themes. Women's topics, on the other hand, are limited. Female YouTubers address beauty, 30%, food, 23%, relationships, 23%, fashion and family, as well as household topics, 15%. Also, as figure 2 shows, men present a bigger variety of topics such as music, relationships, family, and fashion, and also address politics, 7%, gaming, and much more. The men's list is significantly more comprehensive, 21 topic areas include instead of 15. The data thus confirms that the hypothesis according to which female YouTubers are more represented in popular videos with stereotypical female themes, it also becomes to that their spectrum of topics is significantly more limited than the male actors. So there's the graphic on that. Okay, down to that's figure 2 that I just showed. Men stage themselves as professionals. It's hypothesis 4. The following results reveal selected characteristics with which the main female protagonists portray themselves in the 2000 videos analyzed, with which we understand as an expression of professional versus non-professional abilities. Female YouTubers appear predominantly in private settings, and their relationships almost exclusively male. Partners to their families play a larger role in the appearances than the male protagonists. In their activities in the videos are described more frequently by the women themselves as personal passions and hobbies, and they rarely discuss their activities as connected to a career. Women talk about their passions, while men thematize their professional abilities. While fewer than quarter of female YouTubers address their careers, almost 2/3 of men do so. When we look at the hobbies and passions and the reverse is true. While only a third of male YouTubers mention that these themes, 2/3 of women create this context in their videos. Also, public spaces and professional contexts are predominantly reserved for male protagonists on YouTube. This means that women shoot their videos in what appears to be their homes or other private environments, while men are also visible in offices and other professional environments. The settings in which people are visible on YouTube are private houses and apartments, where most women and more than half of male actors are shown. Settings in the public sphere, in contrast, are chosen by male YouTubers, often 34%. often twice, I'm sorry, male YouTubers twice as much as often as females. This confirms the fourth hypothesis that states men communicate and stage themselves as professionals in their videos, measured by the choices in public settings, reference to professional activity and thematization of emotions. This study represents the first step towards quantified analysis of gender portrayals on YouTube. This is in the limitations heading. Although the larger number of channels and videos were included in the analysis, it is not comprehensive assessment of all of the most popular videos, nor random sampling. Limiting scope to the most popular content necessarily excludes videos that may show alternative content but receive fewer clicks and subscribers. The content analysis does not allow conclusions to be drawn regarding the video's actual reception among adolescents, even though the data proves that the platform's popularity among children and adults, the audience group for the individuals we analyzed, could not be broken down by sociodemographics. The gendered typical depictions can thus only be understood by an offspring. No statement can be made about their actual acceptance. And then here's a topic discussion. And that's the last topic. The results show that web videos favored by children and young adults on the YouTube platform adopt and propagate similar role models to those that previously existed in television and film. Female channel operators are significantly underrepresented in the most popular videos, and they are more limited by the range of topics. And they appear predominantly in and with topics with a stereotypical female connotation. Further, most of the women's self-portrayal takes place in private settings. Here, the new web formats have not created a change from classical depictions on television, where women are also predominantly shown in their personal and private lives. Web videos emphasize this aspect as female actors refer often to their hobbies rather than to their careers, thus characterizing their actions in less social legitimatized as less socially legitimized. This shows that the favorite new media to adolescents encounter traditional gender stereotypes that steer the engagement with gender onto traditional tracks. The actual variety of gender identities and gender roles is not present in popular YouTube videos and therefore excluded from the mainstream audience. Clearly, the interplay of social structuring of YouTube, the market, and the audience demand does not lead to inclusion and visibility of alternative role models.